What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie2988 coming at you live once again through the power of the internet. And I want to talk to you about the PlayStation experience, which I attended this last Saturday, and it was super fun. I had a lot of fun. I was going to show you some footage from it, but unfortunately I didn't film very much while I was there, and what I did film did not turn out that great. So I figured I could talk about the experiences, and I will deliver you there with the power of our imaginations. I want to talk about Project Morpheus. I want to talk about the Order 1886. I want to talk about some of the indie games they played there. I want to talk about PlayStation itself and the people at PlayStation that I got to meet. And of course, I want to talk about all the awesome fans that I met, because that was one of the best parts. That's the whole reason I do this stuff. Anytime I ever go to one of these shows, is to meet you or people like you. And in fact, I'll start off to say that I must have shooken 300 hands and had 300 pictures taken, and it was awesome. I didn't get to meet everybody that I wanted to meet, and some of you didn't get to meet me, and I'm so sorry. We were there for about 8 hours, but it wasn't enough to get to meet everybody, and that sucked. But I wish that I had. So let's start off talking about my favorite thing that I did there, which is Project Morpheus. Project Morpheus, if you're unfamiliar, is the PlayStation version of virtual reality, and it's very similar to the Oculus Rift. And some of you care about virtual reality, and some of you don't. Those of you who do, you're going to like this part. Getting to use it was a dream come true. I've been wanting to get my hands on Project Morpheus for as long as I can remember. I own a Dev Kit 2, Oculus Rift Dev Kit 2, and I've used it a reasonable amount, enough to get an impression of it, so I thought I'd be able to give a good comparison between the two. I think, straight up, Project Morpheus technically is better. The screen, to me, was better. It had a bit of weight to it. It was very responsive when it came to movement. Overall, I think it's got a bit of an edge over the Oculus Rift. Now, since it's a PlayStation-only device, who knows if it's going to have an edge when it comes to software, but on the physical build, I liked it. Now, that could change because we have no clue what the final Oculus Rift is going to look like, and we have no clue what the final Project Morpheus is going to look like. But as it is right now, I thought it was technically better, mostly because of the screen. When I use my Oculus Rift Dev Kit 2, I can definitely see little black dots everywhere. I can definitely tell where it's pixelated. Not a very good resolution. It was a wonderful resolution on Project Morpheus. I could see the individual red, blue, and green pixels. When somebody told me to look for it, I did look for it and I noticed it. But when I was just playing the games, I didn't notice it at all. And I really thought that was pretty cool. So decent, very decent. Nobody would tell me how close that is to whatever they're expecting to be the final version, though. They were very secretive about it, which is understandable because they don't want to lose their jobs by misspeaking or whatever, knowing that I'll come here and repeat what they have to say. I got to play 3 different experiences with it. I would say games, but they weren't really all games. The first one was a game called, this one was a real game. It was called Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. And it's like a party game kind of thing, and you play it with somebody. One person wears the goggles. Where's the Project Morpheus? The other person looks through a code book, and you're describing a bomb that you need to defuse inside the game, inside the virtual world. The other person can't see the bomb, so you have to describe what you're seeing, and then they have to look it up in the code book and tell you what to do. And me and my wife played it, and we exploded, and it sucked. But I really want a chance to redeem ourselves, so I can't wait to get to play that game. Another game that I got to play was some sort of deep sea simulation where you're down inside like one of those shark cages. And then a shark comes and attacks you, rips apart your cage and stuff like that. And that was super scary. It felt very real. I mean, obviously it didn't feel like I was underwater. But I mean, it felt like, and it looked real, and I had a good range of motions. I actually genuinely got scared while playing that game. And then the other one that I got to play was some sort of fantasy thing where you used weapons to beat up a dummy. And it actually used PlayStation Move to do it. I'm not very good at moving, but I was able to do this, and you would use the move. The triggers is the only thing you use. You'd use it like grab your weapon or shoot your weapon, okay? So once you had the crossbow, you'd use it to shoot your crossbow, or you would use it to pick up swords. I could dual wield swords to take apart this dummy, and then at the end of it, there's a big surprise. Spoiler alert, you get eaten by a dragon, and it was terrifying, and it was so cool. And all 3 of those are awesome. Obviously, I didn't do like the luge one, because I didn't know that I could get back off the ground or whatever, but those 3 were so much fun. I really enjoyed that part. I also got to play the Order 1886, which is a game I made a lot of fun of, mostly because of the 30 frames per second thing. I don't know if the game's going to turn out to be any good or not, but the 20-minute demo that I played was very good. It looked good. It played good. It looked good. It played well. The guns were fun to fire. The combat was fun. As a third-person shooter goes, it's really fun. I suck at third-person shooters when I'm using sticks still. So I didn't do that well at the demo. The 20-minute demo actually took me 30 minutes because I had to restart it at some point. And it was very cinematic. And I know I know that's the joke keyword and everything, but it was, I mean, it did look kind of like a movie. to an extent. And the combat was fun, and it flowed seamlessly from cutscene to game to cutscene to game. And the world seems very deep. The storyline seems very deep. There was a 45-minute demo, and I didn't have time to play that, and I wish that I had, because it was awesome. And the guys that are making the game are really awesome. I did a little interview for them and everything because I was so excited. I think the game's going to turn out to be okay, but until we see the reviews, we won't know for sure. So as always, say wait for the reviews. But I think as a PlayStation exclusive goes, it's going to be one of the better ones, just based on what I played. But again, that could fall apart between now and release, so we'll have to wait and see. I got to see Mortal Kombat 10 gameplay. I watched people play it, but I didn't want to stand in line to play it myself. So I asked some people what they thought of it. They said it played good. It looks amazing. It looks amazing. I really can't wait to play Mortal Kombat 10. Chris had a little Big Planet 3 booth, which was fun. I got to see Sackboy. I like the way PlayStation does their, like, I don't know, for lack of a better term, booth personalities. Because they don't really do like scantily clad women, even though this is like Las Vegas. They do like Sackboy and like the, like Ezio. And like, I really like that. I like the fact that I'm meeting the characters from these games. That's awesome to me, and I feel like it gives a very friendly environment. But that's the big thing about the PlayStation experience this year and how it differs from other shows or other cons or things along that lines. It was definitely by PlayStation for the players, because that's what everything was. Play a game, come play a game, play our game, come play our game. They gave away a little deck box or whatever and some other goodies. But they also gave you a card, and there were 52 different cards that you could collect by going to different booths and experiencing different games in order to put together a deck. That's how they encourage you to try to hit every booth and try to play every game. That was so cool. Now, one of the biggest controversies that was mentioned that day, Uncharted 4 obviously looks amazing. I didn't get a chance to play the demo, unfortunately. But one of the biggest controversies that was there was the Street Fighter announcement. And Street Fighter is now going to be an exclusive. And this has definitely riled some people up, understandably. So I had an opportunity to speak with a high-ranking PlayStation official, whose name, I'm not going to put him on the record for this. But this person said to me, look, we're not in the business of preventing people from playing games. We're in the business of making games. And I think that's pretty cool. And I think something that I've learned over the last few months, talking to people at Xbox and talking to people at PlayStation, the next Tomb Raider might not have gotten made had Xbox not backed it. And what is Xbox going to get back? Well, they want it to be an exclusive. That makes sense. And Street Fighter, we've heard Capcom officially come out and say that we cannot make this game, and this may be a whole other video, so forgive me if I'm repeating myself. This may be a whole other video I'm making this week. Capcom says we cannot make this game unless somebody backs us. PlayStation needs a fighting game, wants a fighting game. What's better than Street Fighter 5, right? So they back Capcom and they ask for exclusivity, still allowing it to be on PC. And Microsoft, I hope you make the same decision to let Tomb Raider come to PC. And that's good. It's just good overall. I got to hear some other industry gossip, things from other YouTubers and other people in the industry and people from Xbox and people from PlayStation. And we'll keep an eye out as those things come along so that I can make videos about it. And that was at the Video Game Awards. That was also the PlayStation experience. But overall, the PlayStation experience was awesome. And if you were there, I'm so glad you were there. And if you didn't make it, if they do another one next year, I think they should. Because, man, oh man, was it fun. It was just a bunch of gamers and a bunch of people who make them in a room having fun. And it was no corporate bullcrap. It was just fun. It was just fun. It was from PlayStation for the gamers. Oh, what does it used to say? For gamers by gamers, right? And that's exactly what it was. Because, you even see Yoshida and Adam and all these different guys from PlayStation playing games. Playing the same games that you're playing. Waiting in line to do it in a few cases, which is funny to me. All right. I love you guys. As always, thanks for listening, and I'll talk with you soon.